Hello there, YouTube. I haven't made a video recently about my wet shaving hobby. I did make a introductory video a while back, but a while back, if I could speak, that would be helpful. Um, but I haven't really done any follow-up other than the occasional here's what I bought recently. So I'm going to give a quick rundown of what I have currently that I can actually use or want to use. Um, I have laid it out over there, and so I'm gonna switch the camera around a little bit and show you what all is in the shave den. Get right back. All right, I'm back again after a brief pause and a little bit of arranging. Here is what is currently in the shaving rotation, things that I actually can use or have used. I'm going to start over here with the razors and eventually work our way over there. I might talk about each one briefly if I feel it needs it, but for some of the stuff, I'll just go quickly over it. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask in the comments down below. All right, so starting over here with the razors. This one is a 1940s, possibly 42 Gillette Tech that I got recently for I think $40. But I didn't just pay $40 for this. I also got some, if it would focus. Nah, I guess it's just not having it today. Also came with a few other things, so I didn't just spend $40 on a razor. This is a 1961 Gillette Fat Boy that I got a while back at a household sale for a grand total of $2. That's right, I paid $2 for a Fat Boy. So, me. My luck, not yours. The next thing is a 1950s, 60s Gillette flare tip. I know I have it written down somewhere what the actual date is, but I just couldn't be bothered to look it up. So, yeah, there's that. This is a 1920s Gillette ball end. I think it's called the old style. It is I think a brass razor with silver plating, and I do actually use this one, but not a lot because it's from the 1920s and in almost perfect condition, so I don't really want to mar it up too much, but I do use it and it shaves fantastic even if it is a little bit on the light side. Moving up, we have the RazoRock Mission Razor. I was pleasantly surprised by this razor because the price tag on the back here says $25, but I did not pay $25 for it, and it really surprised me. I think it's all brass and stainless steel construction. The finish is perfect, and it's a very, very grippy razor. So for the money, like value for money, I think that's one of the better razors I have, unless you count the Fat Boy down here, because $2. But yeah, RazoRock Mission. That's a damn fine razor if you can manage to get your hands on one. I had difficulty actually finding one on the internet after I bought it at a store while I was on vacation. And moving on, this is a I want to say 30s or 40s Gem Junior single edge razor. It does shave well, and I do use it, but not very often because it is a little bit on the aggressive side for, well, it's not, it for some reason it and my face just don't seem to get along too terribly well. I've never really gotten like razor burn from it, but I always seem to get nicks when I shave with it, even though it is a fantastic shaver. And this is one of two straight razor type things that I have. This is the only shavette that I own. The other straight razor that I own is a vintage one, and I haven't had it honed yet, so I didn't feel like putting it in with the rest of the stuff because it isn't actually something I can use right now. The basket is the thing I keep all the stuff in the cabinet in the bathroom. So yeah, those are the blades I currently have in rotation. I think there are a few more around here somewhere that I either didn't find or couldn't be bothered to find. But these aren't really arranged in any particular order, and I do like all of these. Not all of them provide good shaves, except for kind of these. These are just like the cheap Rite Aid blades you can get pretty much anywhere. They shave all right, but they're not really worth buying. I would totally spend my money on something like this over that any day. All right, and so now we move on to the soaps and the creams. So let's start with the soaps first. Down here we have Williams, the obligatory Paco Williams, plus an extra just because. Does make a good hand soap if you don't like it as a shaving soap, but I've been able to get good results with it. So do it your own, I guess. This was a container of RazoRock Classic, but I have, since I used all of it, I have since put a sample puck of Ogallala Bay Rum in there, and I've been shaving with that pretty much every day for the last week, and I'm really liking it. So there's that. There's Mystic Water Coconut that I got in a trade for another Fat Boy, and it wasn't just this I got in the trade. I think I got this, plus another of that, and yeah, I think that's what I got for that trade. But yeah, so I didn't just trade a Fat Boy for that, so don't freak out. I am a really big fan of this one. I haven't really used it too terribly much, but I like the scent, and I've gotten good performance out of it, so first results are kind of promising. These two are both Soapy Bathman. This one is Happy Hour, this one is Nightclub. I think I prefer this one a little bit more, because it has sort of a sweet, like anise and liqueur kind of scent, and this one has sort of a Gillette shaving foam kind of scent. It's a good scent. If you like sort of a mentally fresh kind of smell, but I think I prefer this one just a little bit more. I did have another sample. This is a Los Angeles shaving soap company, Topanga Fougere. I had the vanilla eucalyptus mint sample that I used up, and I really liked it, so I'm hoping this one provides just as good results. I haven't actually used it yet, but since the other one performed well, I have no reason to assume that one wouldn't. This is a sample puck of Sterling Spice that I got with the Gillette Tech over there, plus another Sterling sample. The other Sterling sample I had was called the Glacial Wintergreen, and it is the only super mentholated. Well, that one isn't, but the Wintergreen was one of the only super mentholated shaving soaps that I've used. So even though you could feel that the lather was warm, it felt like there was ice on your face. So I'm happy I got through with it during the summer months, because I couldn't bring myself to use it during the winter. This one smells like Old Spice, not the new stuff. The new stuff I like, but this stuff smells like the older one. It's a little bit more on the spice, a little bit less on the floral sweet side. But I like it. But we'll see how it performs in comparison to the Great Glacial Wintergreen, which performed really well. So that is an Edwin Jagger, I think just a generic shaving soap. I think it has a slight, yeah, it's an aloe vera scent, and I only used that one once so far, but it provided good results, and I just haven't been able to get back around to it yet, so it performs well. The Colonel Conk I haven't used in a while, but I have been able to get good results with the Vanderhagen glycerin soap, which I've heard is very similar. And I got this a while back, and I just wasn't able to get the results I wanted with it, but maybe now that I've had a little bit more experience under my belt, I'll be able to actually get a decent shave out of it. On to Arko. Of course, if you're into wet shaving at all, you will have probably tried Arko at some point. I like it. Some people mash it up and put it into their own little homemade puck, but I like it in the stick form. It's a little bit easier to use if you're traveling, so that's what ends up in my travel bag more often than not. This is another sample, well, a refill puck, I guess, of the Lexington Cage shaving soap, and I really like this. I haven't actually used it in a while, but the results I've gotten from it are fantastic, and I love the sort of piney, resiny kind of scent that it has. These two are ones I bought while I was on vacation, along with the Mission Razor over there. This is one of my favorite scents that I've used so far. It's the Lavender Montebianco. They did have the newer version of it in the tin, not tin, but in the container like this. But I decided, since I had such a good experience with the one in the old style packaging, I didn't want to risk it. So I went ahead and got the older style container. And some people have a strong opinion about which one of these is better. Honestly, I think they're both just fine. They're both solid, well made. This one is a slightly larger base, so there's that to consider, but I don't really have any really valid or helpful statements about the differences in those. So, and then we move on to actually this one, the RazoRock Triple X, and oh my god, when people said that this is a good scent, I didn't really quite know what they were talking about, and I really like it. I really like the sort of citrusy, and there's something else to it, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And I've been trying to find the Splash aftershave for this one, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I found the balm, which I have in the lime version of RazoRock, but I would rather have the Splash. But anyway, moving on to the Taylor of Old Bond Street Sandalwood. Again, another, if you're into wet shaving at all, you probably have tried this at some point. I really like it. It is a little on the strong side for my typical wants or desires for a soap. Well, because this one, I'll discuss these two in a minute, because I think there is a difference to me. This one, I don't know if it's because it's in the sample tub, but it's a lot harder than I would have expected it to be, and certainly harder than this. And I get great performance out of it. Honestly, it is pretty darn good performance, but I think these perform just a little bit better. But I would have no problem buying more of this, especially because of the fantastic scent. This one I actually used this morning, and is the Trumpers Rose Shaving Cream. Some people say it's a little girly. Yeah, so what? It's rose. It smells nice. It does kind of smell like the Avon Rose that my grandma used to like bathe in, only better. I don't really know how it's better, but it just has a little, it just doesn't make my head feel like there's a jackhammer inside it like when my grandma used to bathe in the Avon stuff. But that could just be because she used way too much of it. In the similar vein is the Trumpers Violet, which I find very similar to the Rose, only a fair bit lighter. So if you want to get into the Trumpers line, but don't want to go quite the way of the stronger scented Rose, I would recommend trying this one, because it has a quite similar scent, only a fair bit lighter. On over this way, we have a Crabtree Evelyn tube that I got while I was in, I think, Syracuse, after the consultation for my surgery. I like this scent. It's a weird scent because it's not quite like anything else here. Everything else here has a pretty well-defined scent. This one kind of switches around on you a little bit, and it has kind of a Christmassy kind of scent. But it's also a very fresh scent. I don't really know how it manages to do that, because typically with the Christmassy kind of scents is a little bit on the denser or heavier side. But I quite like this. Now I do have a sample of the soap from Crabtree and Evelyn, and kind of like which one? Kind of like the Ogallala. I've heard some people have difficulty with the Crabtree and Evelyn soap, and I have it in the lime scent for the soap, and I love the scent, but I haven't really tried using it yet. But I'm gonna give it a shot sometime soon and see how it performs. I do like that it came with a little turnkey, but I haven't used enough of it to actually make it worth using the key yet. This one is one I actually bought at the local Wegmans, and I was quite surprised to see that they had it there. I think I saw that Nick Shaves did a video on this, and I think he said he bought one at a Wegmans. So out of curiosity, I went and looked at mine, and voila, there it was. It performs very well. The scent, it depending on the day, can either kind of nauseate me, honestly, or just make me stand there sniffing the brush that I use. It is kind of on the strong side, and it has a kind of medicinal dentist kind of smell, but it's a kind of hit or miss for me, but generally I like it more often than I don't. These three are the Art of Shaving creams that I got when I was in Florida. They all perform great, but they're a little bit on the expensive side for me to validate buying again. I do really like the sandalwood, but yeah, all the scents are great. But again, it's just a little bit too much on the expensive side to be worth buying over something like the Razor Rock, which performs great and has a great price point. This is the only tube Taylor of Old Bond Street that I have, and honestly, I think I prefer the Trumpers a little bit more. And the scent on this is a little bit funky. It's not really my cup of tea, but because me being me, I will probably finish it, and I do enjoy it enough that it's not really going to be like torture to get through it. So, and then come on to the final one is the Omega shaving cream, which is really actually more of a shaving mucus kind of. Has a runny texture that I wasn't expecting out of it, and it did work well on a test lather that I did, but I haven't actually tried shaving with it yet. So, all right. Now let's see. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Ah, yes. If we travel over this way a little bit, excuse the mess, but oh well. This in the razor that actually goes with this carton is in the bathroom because this is what I used this morning. It's the Razor Rock. No, not Razor Rock. It's the Merkur 38C, I think. What does it say on the bottom? Yeah, Merkur 38C. And this is the first safety razor I ever got. My parents bought it for me for Christmas. I love it. And this is the Merkur Future that I got in a trade for a fat boy. And I also really like this razor. There's a few soaps over here. Jella, of course. Almondy, marzipan kind of scent, but on the lighter side, a little more powdery than the Razor Classic that I had before. But I do like that one. I think I have that one in here just because it was in my travel case. And this is the Crabtree and Evelyn soap that I haven't really tried yet. So, yeah, I think that does it for the stuff I actually use on a fairly regular basis. All the aftershaves and stuff are either in the bathroom or downstairs, and all the shaving brushes that I have 2 Boars, an Omega, and a Smoke, and the silver tip Badger that I have from Shave Nation are all in the bathroom. So I didn't feel like bringing them in here because they just end up back there anyway. But for the last and final bit is the stuff that I've collected but don't really use. So I'm going to give a quick go over of that. I guess these are a matching set of Old Spice from an antique store. Both full to the brim. And I haven't really used them because they're old and probably more valuable as a collectible than they are as shaving paraphernalia. This is the vintage razor that I have. It's an ERN. It's made in Germany, not Solingen, but Solingen's in Germany, but it doesn't say Solingen. It says Germany. So I haven't got it honed yet, but it will be added into my rotation sometime soon. And these are just like an assortment of single blades and other little things that I picked up. That is actually a sample for a Colgate shaving stick from like the teens or 20s. And moving on, camera stuff, some razor blades, a Gillette, razor carrying case, just little bits and pieces that I picked up. These are, I think, razors they would have used in a hospital to like prep a patient. They are, I think, Schick. Yep. So I haven't used those because I think one of them has been used for sure, and the other one I wasn't sure, so I didn't bother. And just up there, moving along, and that's it. That actually is full. It is opened, but all the blades are still in there. So yeah, I think that does it for my current shave den. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.